In this episode, we'll share the stories behind the iconic locations that have graced the lyrics of Taylor Swift's discography. From cozy cafes to storied hotels, each stop promises to whisk you into the world of her songwriting. Today I am joined by my favorite Swiftie as we discuss Taylor Swift's New York City. Welcome to Roaming Yeti's Travel Beyond the Guidebook, where we help our busy fellow adventurers maximize their limited vacation time. I'm your host and head Yeti, Beth Scalacci. I'm here to share stories, hidden gems, and insider tips to help you plan trips that are unique and meaningful to you. In each episode, I delve into the world of pop culture destinations, theme parks, roadside attractions, and nostalgic locations. And you know what? We're uncovering their secrets and backstories. Are you ready? Let's roam! Welcome back. As you know, I am a big believer in traveling your way and doing the types of things you enjoy and are passionate about, even when on vacation. This means searching out places at a destination that are in line with your passions and interests rather than doing what is expected of you when visiting a popular destination. So that's why today we are heading to New York City and we are discussing locations that are referenced in the lyrics of the one and only Taylor Swift. Now, I was not going to handle this topic alone. I had to bring in someone that has been a Taylor Swift fan for a long time. That's right. Not only is Julia a huge theme park fan, she is a big Swiftie. As a matter of fact, she was just named vice president of the Taylor Swift Club at her university. And so she did all my fact checking and is joining me today. Julia, how are you and welcome back?
I'm so excited to be back on such a perfect topic.
So let's give a little background, a little credibility check here. We both saw her on her tour for Red and also 1989.
Mhm.
Actually, Red we saw in Philly, so we sort of
Yeah,
did
we saw.
did the hometown thing for her.
Yeah. Oh, it was such a good show. I wish there was an official recording for it. There's not, but oh, it was such a good show.
It was a very good show. And 1989 we saw in DC, where the Washington Nationals play. So that was smaller stadium than what she's doing now. You have not been to the Eras tour, but for no fault of your own, Ticketmaster not cooperating. So
Ticketmaster said I wasn't a verified fan, apparently.
that judgmental Ticketmaster. Well, I think after the lawsuit that they just filed yesterday, I think they'll they'll have some explaining to do for sure.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about like what is it about Taylor that means so much to you?
There's so much. I mean, I think like her music has always been there in special places in my life, and it sort of like changed my life in small ways or like that kind of thing. And it's just been very impactful. Like personally, I feel like also just her music is something very much that shows girlhood and sort of like growing up and like that kind of stuff and explores those things. And it creates very universally topics and creates things that are really relatable. So I feel like it's a lot of people can really relate to her music, even if you haven't had the exact experience. There's something in it. There's some emotion that she pulls from. And I don't know. I love her music. I think she's a very good role model and just all that.
Yeah, it's you and I have talked about it. It's very interesting to for as a mom who does enjoy her music a lot as well. Does a lot of her I do a lot of my writing to Taylor Swift music. But
Shout out to Midnights.
I know Midnights is my writing album. Like if I need to get a script written, Midnights is probably on my headphones. But it's just been it's interesting to watch you grow up with her music, her to grow up as a artist, and so it's I don't know, it's an interesting talent that you don't see that often. So we really enjoy keeping an eye on her and listening to everything she puts
Yes.
out for sure. But enough about us. Let's dive in. We have not been to all these places yet. Though I know you really want to get up there to New York. We have not been there since New York since 2019, so We are due a trip at some point. Not sure when, but we'll try to get it in. But at least we have our itinerary now. So
Yeah, we did the pre-planning. So we just have to go now.
exactly. I want everyone else to take advantage of our pre-planning for sure. We have selected 13 places to share with you today. To help you plan your own Taylor Swift itinerary. You're probably not going to get them all in a day, but if you move fast enough, maybe you can. I'm not sure. But
I
our
mean,
first,
Taylor's productive in a day, so
exactly. If we're as
I have
productive as
faith.
her, we can do it. So our first stop is the Bus Stop Cafe, and this location comes from the song "The One," which is on the Folklore album. And here comes the lyrics, and please enjoy our dramatic reading of these lyrics all this episode because I'm not singing them. Um,
I we could never do it as good as Taylor.
no,
I'm not even
no,
trying.
no. So just excuse our dramatic readings of her lyrics. So again, the one on folklore, and the lyric is, "I thought I saw you at the bus stop. I didn't though." Um, and you can find the bus stop cafe at 597 Hudson Street. The interesting thing for me was when I heard this, I thought she meant a bus stop until you told me it was the cafe.
I did
Um,
too, and then people were like, "Oh, it might actually be this cafe because that makes a little bit more sense than Taylor Swift standing at a bus stop." And I said, "Oh, you're right."
yeah, definitely. And this cafe is in has been in historic West Village for 25 years. And the building was actually a prohibition speakeasy. So it's really cool that these buildings and a lot of these places actually have sort of a life outside of, of Taylor Swift, shall we say.
Whoa, that's possible? Crazy.
What do we got next?
Well, next up, we have Cornelia Street, because how can we not talk about Cornelia Street in this episode? This, of course, is referenced in the song by the same name, Cornelia Street, on the Lover album. This is where Taylor lived for a period of time in Greenwich Village. Cornelia Street is only a block long, so finding the very unique doorway would not be hard. The street name comes from Cornelia Herring, the granddaughter of Robert Herring, on whose farm the street replicated in 1794. People do live around here and stuff, so please, if you go and visit this neighborhood, be respectful and that kind of stuff because people do live here. They pay a lot of money to live there. Um, but
Yeah.
it's just a cool thing. I know I feel like there's been like signs and stuff up on like the street sign or whatever, and just like, and I'm sure you're gonna run into a Swifty on that street. So bring your friendship bracelets.
That's that's true. Like take your friendship bracelets to New York. You never know who you're gonna run into to trade. But yeah, the doorway of that building just looks so cool. So if nothing else, the unique architecture that's going on is worth the stop. So now we're gonna head to the High Line, which is a park that was referenced in the song Cardigan on the Folklore album. In the lyric, "Your heartbeat on the High Line once in 20 lifetimes." The High Line is a public park. It's built actually on a freight rail line that's elevated above the streets on the west side. And it opened in 2009 and it's owned by the city. It's approximately a mile and a half long, and there's some food and drink vendors. You can go up and down the steps and visit some of the restaurants. Definitely sounds like a great place to check out during nicer weather. I don't know if you want to be there in the middle of winter, but bundle up. It'll be fine. Get some hot chocolate.
Yeah.
You're good.
Sounds magical.
Yes.
Um,
So what do you got next?
Our next stop is a bookstore that was used as the filming location for the final scene of the All Too Well short film. This is the scene in which we see Taylor come out in her red hair, matching Sadie Sink's red hair, with her book reading for her book of the title All Too Well. This bookstore is the Housing Works bookstore. The store is located in 126 Crosby Street. In addition to a bookstore, they also have a cafe and they host events. I think you can get married there, which sounds cool. um, I think the greatest part of this bookstore is that nearly all their inventory of books is donated and most staff are volunteers. This means that 100% of the profits go to Housing Works, whose mission is to end the dual crisis of homelessness and AIDS. So,
Yeah,
very good cause.
exactly. Great cause. Obviously it's a gorgeous hotel. I mean hotel, bookstore. Gorgeous place, perfect for filming and stuff, but I just think there's that great added bonus that she is bringing awareness to it. So, go in, buy some books, get something at the cafe, and
Support a
help
good
support
cause.
those cause. Yeah. And
Yeah,
if you need to book a wedding, maybe you can do that too.
maybe. Or another event. Maybe you can have a book reading there.
Yeah,
Be
there
just
you
like
go.
Taylor.
Exactly. Next we head to the West Village. This neighborhood is referenced in the song False God on the Lover album. The lyric being, daring you to leave me just so I can try and scare you. You're the West Village, you still do it for me, babe. If you make it to the bus stop cafe or the High Line, you've already landed in the West Village. So there's another one for you to check off the list. But back in the day, the West Village was actually a haven for legendary artists like Allen Ginsberg and Jack Kerouac. These free spirits really made the village a breeding ground for groundbreaking movements from the beat poets to the fight for LGBTQ rights. So, really walk around, take it all in. It's a very artistic area and, just enjoy the vibe.
Yeah, sounds fun. Next, we're heading to a location from the most recent album, the Tortured Poets Department, called the Chelsea Hotel in the lyrics. It's actually, truthfully, the Hotel Chelsea, and it's located in 222 West 23rd Street. It's featured on the title track, The Tortured Poets Department, with the lyric, "You're not Dylan Thomas, I'm not Patti Smith, this ain't the Chelsea Hotel. We're modern idiots."
One of
Dylan
my favorite
Thomas,
lyrics.
I love that lyric. It's so funny. This song's just really funny. I love it. Um, Dylan Thomas, the poet, was a resident in the hotel, and his suite on the first floor was preserved during a renovation. Patti Smith also lived there at one point. The list of poets, authors, artists, and musicians that have stayed at Hotel Chelsea is a who's who of talent. No wonder she referenced it. If spending the night is out of the question, you can stop at the lobby bar or dine at their two dining locations.
Next up, we have another reference from the Tortured Poets Department, this time the anthology album, and that is the Central Park Lake. This reference can be found on the Bolter with the lyric, when it's all roses, portrait poses, Central Park Lake in tiny rowboats. What a charming Saturday. The Central Park Lake is known simply as the lake, and it's actually the second largest body of water in Central Park after the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir. The lake is 20 acres and sits on the west side of the park, approximately between 66th and 79th Street. You actually can rent rowboats, or if don't want to work so hard, you can take a gondola ride on the lake. So definitely something to check out. I, for one, did not know there were two bodies of water on in Central Park. So I learned many new things on this one, but that was definitely one that I learned that was new for sure.
Well, truly does sound like a charming Saturday.
Yes, it does. It really does. It'll probably be a little crowded depending on when you're there, but definitely Central Park's great, so it's definitely worth a visit.
Next, we head over to Madison Square Garden. The garden is referenced in the song The Lucky One from Red. The lyric is, chose the Rose Garden over Madison Square. Taylor has actually, in fact, performed here several times, including during her Fearless tour in 2009. She performed at Madison Square Garden for the very first time. For the Speak Now World Tour in 2011, she was joined by two special musical guests. She and Selena Gomez, her bestie, performed a rendition of Who Says, and James Taylor joined her to perform his hit Fire and Rain. During the release of Red, Taylor Swift shared the stage with Ed Sheeran and performed their duet Everything Has Changed at the Jingle Ball. And then in 2019, the Ball fell on her 30th birthday. So she was surprised with a cake with her three cats on it during her set. Also, we got the iconic quote during me of "Hey kids, tonight is my birthday."
There you go. Yeah, I always forget that she quickly moved on to stadium so that she hasn't had more performances at Madison Square Garden. So but it obviously has a special place in her career. So it's definitely both from a lyric and her history to walk by and check out. But now we're gonna head out to the beach. We're gonna head to Coney Island. Coney Island is referenced in the song of the same name featuring the National, and that's on the Evermore album. Coney Island is actually a neighborhood located on the southern tip of Brooklyn, New York, and it's a popular summer destination known for its beach, boardwalk rides, and games. It is also the home to the good old annual 4th of July hot dog eating contest at Nathan's Famous. So just a little
Lovely.
history. I know. So maybe not go on 4th of July. It'll be a little busy. But
Yeah.
Coney Island's rise to fame began in the late 1800s as a resort destination for wealthy New Yorkers. And then by the early 1900s, it had transformed into a working class amusement area with several large amusement parks and a variety of entertainment options. It remains a beloved New York City landmark. Both a lot of residents still use it. It's a great place to visit. So, definitely make a trip out there if you have the time.
Just go find a bench in Coney Island.
There you go.
Yep. Get
Sounds
the full
delightful.
experience of the song.
Sounds another great way to spend a
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah. From the beach to the East Village, our next stop is Lovers of Today Bar. While not explicitly mentioned in the song Delicate on Reputation, it is believed to be the quote dive bar on the east side. Um, while there is no official confirmation, Taylor Swift is rumored to be a fan of the bar, and staff of Lovers of Today have even said that she's been there. It's an intimate and dark speakeasy style bar across from Tompkins Square Park at 132 and a half East 7th Street.
Yeah, that sounds like my kind of place, but
I've
yeah,
seen photos of it. It's so cute looking.
it's it does look like just a really nice, fun neighborhood kind of New York neighborhood kind of bar. So, um, it looks
One, two,
small.
three, let's go.
There you go.
Not finishing
Um,
that.
no, please don't. We're trying to stay without explicit rating here on the podcast. Um, the next stop, gonna be a little weird one, but hang with me here, people. Is the Olive Garden in Times Square. In the song No Body, No Crime from the album Evermore, it has the lyric of Estes wasn't there Tuesday night at Olive Garden, at her job, or anywhere. So probably not referencing the one that's on Times Square, but you can definitely meet up on a Tuesday night for dinner and a glass of wine or a mocktail, whatever your vibe is. But you can find this Olive Garden at 2 Times Square, which is on 47th Street between 7th Avenue and Broadway. Um, Fun fact, well, there's a few fun facts here for you. Um, this is actually a 3-story Olive Garden, and it's said to be the world's largest Olive Garden. So, not only do we have a Taylor Swift reference, we just have a really big Olive Garden to go
Just
get your unlimited breadsticks and
a
salad.
lot of breadsticks.
Now, I found reference, and I don't know if they still do this, but in the past they have hosted New Year's Eve parties. So, if you want to be on Times Square without standing out for hours outside, this party includes a buffet, open bar, and DJ, and plus guests get to watch the main event at midnight from an outdoor space that's designated for them. This personally sounds like my kind of way to watch the ringing in of the new year if I can actually stay up till midnight. Um, be inside, not out in the cold. You know, I'm sure tickets are a little pricey, but it's New York City, it's New Year's Eve. Hey, it's probably cheaper than a Taylor Swift resale ticket at this point. So,
Yeah.
check. So if you're gonna be in New York, definitely check out, Olive Garden.
And you can celebrate New Year's Day in an Olive Garden.
There you go. They probably won't make you clean up bottles, but
Yeah, no.
all
And
right.
let's head on over. Let's head on over to the Empire State Building. This is where Taylor first announced her album 1989, the New York album, sort of, in 2014 with a Yahoo live stream that started with a clip of her on top of the Empire State Building welcoming Swifties to New York for the very first time. Another fun connection was in September of last year when Taylor Swift attended her first Kansas City Chiefs game. A fan account noticed like a photo of Taylor with like someone else. She had a plate in front of her that had a chicken nugget, ketchup, and quote seemingly ranch dressing on her plate, which sparked a viral meme of seemingly ranch things everywhere. The Empire State Building's official Twitter account decided to get into with the action, lighting up the upper floors in red and white in a playful nod to the viral moment. They love the Twitter account loves clowning us Swifties. They clowned for Rep TV with us one night. It was always entertaining to watch when a building clowns with us. Oh.
That's always good. And what about President Hoover there?
Yeah, no, he officially opened the Empire State Building on May 1st, 1931, illuminating the city with its dazzling lights for the very first time. The symbol of New York City has a rich history in pop culture, with not only being Taylor Swift, but also including King Kong, Sleepless in Seattle, and Elf.
Three very good movies from very
Yes.
different eras, if we're gonna stick with the Taylor Swift
Yeah.
references. But our last stop is going to be at Electric Lady Studios in Greenwich Village. While not referenced in songs, it's actually the studio in which she recorded songs for her albums, beginning with Lover and including many of the re-records. Um, this studio has such a rich history in addition to Taylor's contributions. This was actually the brainchild of rock icon Jimi Hendrix. He wanted to design it to be a haven for artists. So he started construction in 1968 and he was heavily involved in the planning process. Though Hendrix tragically passed away shortly before the studio's completion in 1970, Electric Lady quickly became a magnet for top artists at the time of Led Zeppelin, Stevie Wonder, David Bowie, and even the Rolling Stones. So many current artists are actually record there too. Ones I could find reference were Bleachers, of course, and
Jack Antonoff's band.
yeah, Casey Musgraves I know just did her latest album, which is phenomenal. There, um, artists like Saint Vincent and Frank Ocean are also said to have recorded there. So it definitely has a rich history in addition to Taylor being there. Again, in a neighborhood, try to be respectful of people coming and going, but definitely go, check out the outside and take a picture. But whew, that's a lot of places gonna keep you busy. Definitely more than one day to check out. So what would be your number one you would go to? Well, I know you're never gonna give me a
I
number one, so you're gonna give me multiples.
I sort of want to go to the bus stop cafe just because it's referenced to like my favorite song. The one is like my favorite song, so I think it'll be really cool. Also, I love a cafe moment. Wednesday in a cafe sounds fun, sounds great. I think that would be fun. I think also the Housing Works bookstore sounds really cool because it's like it's gorgeous and also a bookstore for a good cause. I think that sounds like a great little thing. And a cafe. Again, I love a cafe.
Love a cafe. Um, yeah, I can't. What's the name of the bar? Lovers. Oh, Lovers of Today
Lovers of
bar.
Today bar.
I always
Yeah,
forget the name of that. I think that would be my my top one, for
that's so
sure.
fair.
I think second would be the Hotel Chelsea. It
Mm.
seems like that has a ton of history. It's supposed to be a beautiful building as well. And I'm always fascinated by New York architecture. So definitely would be the place. So to you guys listening, like which one would you visit? Where would you check out? Let us know on social media, or you can join our Facebook group, Roman Yeti Travel Flurry. and let us know. We want to hear from you. So, Julia, thank you so much for joining me again, and I'm sure
Thank
you'll.
you for having me and letting me talk about Taylor Swift because love doing that.
I know I've really had to talk you into it, so
Oh my God.
I appreciate your time. I hope these episodes inspire you to get out and roam and use those vacation days to the fullest. Please follow or subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And if you like what we're doing here, tell a friend and leave a review and a rating. You can also follow us on Instagram or Facebook. Just search for The Roaming Yeti. Talk to you soon and keep roaming.